Alright, hi, I'm Homex here. Real quick interjection before the video starts. I ended up using this song for like a kind of a EP. I mean, it's just two songs. The other song, it's also a song I made in video, but I changed a lot on the song. It's got almost a completely different song now, but I still kind of made it on the videos, so I kind of thought that because they're both making videos, kind of put them together or whatnot. Um, but yeah, this EP is on my Bandcamp. I will leave the link in the description. It's free. It's completely for free. It won't cost you any dollar or nothing at all. You just download it. It will also be up here on YouTube. If you want to check it out there too, it will, you know, yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, I've been working though on music. Thankfully, thank God, I have actually done some music for people. So if you want to tap in, if you want to get into the fun, I can make a song for you. I can mix the song you already made. Uh, whatever music inquiries you have, you can contact me. We can get to working. But for now, that's it. And yeah, subscribe, leave a like, comment, all of that. Let's get to the video. Alright, homies here. What's up? So, today I finally finished this song where I try to use the Universal Audio uh, 8 plugins free pack as much as I could, but actually, those were like demos, right? They have time for you to use it, and I run out of time for most of them. And I kind of had a different mix, you know. This song has like three different forms, three different versions of this song. I'm gonna show him. Okay. And at the end, I settled for this version. Ended up being more like a hyper pop type song. Um, I'd used a compressor for the bass that I lost access to because I run out of time for the demo. So that happened with a few things too. So whatever. I run out of time, and I don't know. First off, let's talk about the main plugin I use, which was the Polymax synth. Ended up being the base of the song. Oh god. Um, well, I didn't connect my MIDI, but this is the main thing I used for the song. Um, it was the idea since the beginning to use this. I still have 12 days to use this. Maybe I do some things with it, but basically I made the bass with the synth. EQ'd it and added these plugins to the preamp EQs. down the road, I mean, this is the base of the song, literally. Pun intended. That was a mad corny fact. So this is where it all started. Like this is the very first thing I did was the bass. It was different when I did it. The notes were different and all that shit, but the sound was the same. Basically, first I tried to do like a pop song, art pop song, something like that. Maybe kind of like a little rock. I don't know, but it just wasn't working out. I don't know. Um, so then when I decided to go on the hyperpop route, I once used 8-beat drums. So I got the samples from 8-beat drums, and it came with this little like video game sound. Right? So I tune it because it says like a melodic in it, and I EQ the thing to. It's kind of like a tom, like a drum, but I know using this plugin again the preamp to make it sound like a bass. So that, so that it sounded like, I don't know. I think it adds a little to the video game aesthetic that I felt like this synth had. So for the melody, right, I actually started um, with this is a native sound from. So I just wanted some like ambience that uh, went with the drums. I mean with the bass, right? Just something there to have a little bit of something going on. Once I established the ambience that I wanted, I came back to the polymorph. What was the name? To the polymax synth. I came back to it and made this um, this melody, I guess. Also pretty simple, but I like how it's kind of chops itself. I don't know how that works or why it happens, but I like how it sounds. So put them together. Interacts with each other in a nice way. Like these just sound good together. Like these effects a little bit, the harmonics of this one, I like that. So obviously, it has to work out with the bass too. So then I wanted to do a little more. You know, this is just kind of plain. Um, I think it just needed a little bit more. Like I could leave it like that. I like hypnotic, ethereal melodies. They're not that complex. Um, but I wanted to add some arpeggio type thing because again I'm going for like a hyperpop sound. They use that a lot. So that's that. So one of the plugins that I run out of time that is the one that affected me the most was actually a compressor. Let me see if I can show it here. So the Fed compressor expired, and I had to basically redone the whole mix for the bass because this expired and I can't use it anymore. I use this one instead. Uh, yeah. I I use the Century 2 channel street for the bass in replacement of the other one. Uh, fuck. That's how it sounded originally, and then this one gives it a more, even more rattle on force and presence. Also makes a little fuzz. And then I asked with this other plugin, I use the Baston preset, Baston 2, which I guess is trying to emulate a bass tone for like a real bass guitar. So it gives him a little more like organic feel thing. And then I EQ it, make it a little more soft, more fuzzy. For this, I mean, the melody, this one has just EQ, both of them just have EQ. I tried to put delay on it, but it sounded awful, so I didn't. This one has EQ, delay, and reverb added to them. I put them in a group all together, and I just EQ the low ends from all the reverb, which wasn't that much, but and yeah, honestly, from the plugins that I got, that's pretty much it. I ended up walking off a lot of things that I did with the plugins because I actually ended up liking the song like as a full real song, right? Um, so I was like afraid of losing what I was doing if I lost access to the plugin again. So yeah, that's that. But that's on me. That was on my own volition. Just normal life took over and couldn't attend to my music thing. But the other things I did, I was explaining here. The drums, the drums were a completely different set of drums. Like more lo-fi type vibe. But I ditched that idea and then I looked for 8-bit um, sounds. Make the same pattern that I had before with the 8-bit sounds, but also like I don't know, it was just feeling too slow. So that's when I decided to go to the hyperpop sound. I used those drums that I did and sped them up, double tempo, pretty much, and then up the pitch and you know um, chopped it up and rearranged so it had a new rhythm. So I didn't put too much effects on this one because this has already effects. I had them on the other drums, the original drums that I made like less fast tempo. Uh, I give a compression, and I actually use again the same compressor that I lost on the bass, but this time I was not that affected because I just re-sample the drums and use it, but it already has effects on it, so I don't, I'm not gonna overdo it, put too much effects on something that already has effects. This is an automation I made at the beginning of the song to introduce the drums, basically here. Right, so I automated it so that it goes from, you know, so I went into like, you know, introduce itself from high to low, and I like that. Obviously, this is very inspired by like drum bass or breakcore type um, drum style. So then I just EQ them. Not really, actually. I got the EQ around. I don't really think they needed to do much on it. Again, because they already have effects on it, so I will be overdoing it a little bit. simple. It's just me. I kind of freestyle it, write it down, and then keep adding up. I sing like shit. This mic is shit. Obviously, it sounds awful. So I had to do a lot, a lot to make it sound good, right? So obviously, I I used autotune for it. I put autotune on my voice. I pitched it up and then put autotune on it.
You're in my mind, you're very consistent. I know that I'm not that very efficient.
And EQ, compress, more EQ for the grouping of the vocals. Uh, this one has
You're in my mind, you're very consistent.
just delay and
I
reverb.
know that I'm not that very efficient. And I know, and I know.
And these two are without that, but they both have gates because that was so noisy. Like this microphone picks a lot of sound from the back, and I just kept re-recording it and it just kept sounding like that. So I said, well, I can't do much about it. The sound's gonna be there, so I kind of used the gates to
You're in my mind, you're very
circulate that delay.
consistent.
But
I know that I'm not that very efficient. And I know, and I know, and I know that I was getting lost. You're in my mind, you're very consistent.
so I did this with both. A little bit of difference in the queuing, but not really too much. And yeah, that's pretty much how I did these vocals. I'm not claiming to be super an expert on this, but
You're in my mind, you're very consistent. I know that I'm not that very efficient.
I was because of the quality of the vocals, I was on this like sort of indie rock um with autotune sound. I think like kind of sound like all those recording when it's like talking through like a shitty microphone on purpose. So experimental psych rock type thing.
You're in my mind, you're very consistent. I know that I'm not that very efficient.
I think it sounded cool. And well, I think that's pretty much it.
You're in my mind, you're very consistent. I know that I'm not that very efficient. And
So for the whole song, I had this EQ. This is kind of like a test for mastering the track, but not really mastering here, just kind of testing things out. Um, but I don't know. So first I EQ the track, then I put multi-band dynamics compressor, an actual compressor for side chaining it, and a limiter, obviously. So let me show you how the track went.
you're in my mind, you're very consistent.
Obviously, the strong put the limiter on.
You're on my mind, you're a American celeste.
Yeah, I'm gonna show the
You're on my mind, you're a American celeste. I know that I'm not that very efficient. And I know, and I know that I was lost.
no. That's pretty much what I got so far. Well, that's pretty much the song. I don't really have too much time to edit things out here, you know. Obviously, I'm running out of time for this track, but I'm pretty satisfied with it. I liked it. As far as the review of the plugins, they're honestly pretty cool. Um, a lot of them pretty cool. I really wanted, um, not this one, not shit. I really wanted the where are they? Where I think it's this one. I remember when this came out. Um, I actually got the demo for the Vive Analog Machines Essentials, but at the end of the day, I think it's probably just like EQ with some like gain or something or some fuzz. I don't like an amp type thing. I don't know, but it doesn't sound like something that it's impossible to make without without it. You know, like, but they're cool. They look cool. Um, this one I really didn't get to use it at all. Um, I can't even access the full screen of it. Great, but yeah, I didn't use it. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, Pure plate reverb. I'd use this in another thing. It sounds cool, but I don't know. Nothing really that special. But it does has like a unique sound. That is true. But I didn't end up using it here. I didn't use too much reverb on the whole thing. This obviously I like. What the fuck going on? I don't know. But yeah, I mean it's a good synth. It's obviously the basis for this whole song. Everything. The main components of the song come from that. I really liked it. Would I buy it? I don't know. I don't think so. Uh, I mean, this one isn't really part of the pack. I had that before. I liked it. This one isn't either. This one I liked it a lot. It's also pretty cool. It also has its unique sound. This compression that doesn't really let you um, customize. Like I cannot move the release, the attack, and all of that. But it does have its unique thing. I do like how it sounds. It has its uses basically. Um, this one was cool. It was really cool. It was a really good compressor. But I run out of time, so I can't show you what I did with it here. Right, and these two, well, I got them before this, uh, this whole thing, right? This pack of demo bundles, but I know it's a good thing. I know how they work. They're pretty. I use them a lot, actually. Not gonna. lie there. But yeah, that's pretty much.
This is
home.
Yeah. Boy, got nice, you can flame when I talk. Little like the times, a little rough. I supposed to fly, but I get it low. Red so black, you can see it really low. See it really low. Walk blind, but I see you in the distance. Keep it close to me, cherish this instant. You're in my mind, you're very consistent. I know that I'm not that very efficient. And I know, that I'll get lost. I have been patient for the most. Right all the times that I chose. But I'm always present when it's ours. All the time has felt like hours. Yeah, you sense so divine. A million flowers. Yeah, you sense so divine. A million flowers. I am always present when time is ours. Girl, you made me see the world is ours. It's ours. I got 9 city, boy, got 9 shit the flame wanna talk. Look like the times, a little rough. I supposed to fly, but I keep it on the low. Red so black, we'll see him in glow. See him in glow. Red so black, we'll see him in glow.